It says we're live.
Hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Let me turn my volume down. Can you hear me, LaShun?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, good. I need to hear you better. Okay, good. I don't know what's going on with this volume situation. Is your volume up on your computer?
Who, for me?
Yeah. Do you have like your phone and your computer on?
No, I just my phone at this point.
Okay, so this is coming from me. Okay. Did you hear any background noise over there?
I don't hear any background noise.
Well, it's all me. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Womb Wellness Wednesday. I am Tracy Bryan Swint, known as the Womb Minister, self-love guru, also sacred yoni alchemist, and I have the beautiful goddess LaShun Walker here with us today, also known as LaShun Teboh, the Yoni Wellness. Come on, give me your title, baby. Give me your title.
Well, I like to introduce myself as a holistic feminine wellness practitioner, but I take pride in being a yoni steam mixologist because I can really mix those herbs together. I'm a nutritionist, yoni steam practitioner, Reiki practitioner, you name it. I wear a lot of hats when it comes to feminine wellness, holistic feminine wellness.
And you also have a business, and you've been in nutrition and weight loss for some years. Tell us a little bit about your business with nutrition and weight loss.
Okay, I have been a nutritionist for probably close to 20 years, maybe even a little bit more than that. I used to be employed as a diabetes health coach. So my main job function then was to help people get their A1C under control. And then I actually went to work for a doctor where I was his nutritionist for a weight loss center. So that's actually how I got more into the weight loss side of nutrition. Until then, I was just basically helping clients to keep their A1C under control with their diet and exercise. And once I went into the weight loss field, I got to the point to where I was like, okay, I'm doing this for someone else. Why can't I do it for myself? So
Right.
5 years ago, I stepped out on faith. Whether I was pushed out on faith.
That's how it goes. Sometimes the person pushed out there.
Yeah, I was pushed out there. So 5 years ago, I started my business, and fast forward 5 years, we have Ankh Feminine Wellness, something that I created, something that I'm very proud of, and something that I'm waiting to just see how it can grow by leaps and bounds. It's my baby right now. Next to my kids, this is the next thing in my life.
Right, because you created that from your womb.
I created this from my womb. These dreams have been years in the making, from doodlings on a notepad to actually seeing before me what I have right now.
Well, congratulations on your womb manifestation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, you also came to Love My Womb Academy and got your Goddess Theme Practitioner's training. Let's talk about what year you did that in.
I did that early last year. So this is going on 2 years that I would be certified with Love My Womb Academy. And that weekend, those 4 days was more than I ever could imagine that they were, because prior to going to Love My Womb Academy, I was already doing yoni steaming, and I was doing it on a basic level. A basic meaning I was working with the physical part of yoni steaming, but I wasn't working with that spiritual, get deep down in your womb part of yoni steaming. And that's what I learned with Love My Womb Academy, is how to actually help women to start the healing process, how to start dealing with the things that sometimes we just want to keep buried in our wombs, but we have to birth those things as well.
Yes,
so that was,
we have to birth.
So that was great.
The good and the bad.
And the bad. We have to birth all of it.
We have to birth it. Yes, because usually the negative, what happens is with hormonal imbalance, stress, and a terrible diet, we end up creating womb dysfunction and diseases and disorders.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to talk a little bit about womb health and wellness. That's why we're here to talk about womb health, nutrition, and weight loss. I am here with LaShun Teboh. Go on, give it to us, LaShun.
Okay. coming up to this morning, I was thinking about how I was going to approach this. So I said, well, let me just talk about it in a way. If a person was sitting in front of me, how I would usually handle it. And I usually do an intake to see what they're currently doing with their diet, what things they might be missing or omitting, and what things they need to bring into their diet. As part of the intake form as well, I ask a couple of things about their wound wellness, as far as have they had a hysterectomy, have they had their tubes tied, are they doing anything for their own womb health as well, to see where they're at. And if they have conditions like fibroids, endometriosis, something that I'm working with now is women who are going through menopause and dealing with the hormonal imbalances that they have. So from there, I give them suggestions on different foods that they can bring into their diet if they're not already in their diet, and eliminating things that they might be having too much of, overindulging. And some of those things is like refined sugars. Refined sugars is not a friend to your womb at all. It's not a friend to you. It's not a friend to your womb, and it's not a friend to your waistline either when it comes to those processed sugars. And so creating a better balance as far as bringing in those naturals with the agave, with the honeys, with using more of those types of things instead of the refined sugars. Another thing I always like to touch on is, especially for a lot of women that come to me, they have fibroids, or they have a history of fibroids. So I've done a lot of research on that, and some of the things that I found was quite simple. Like, for instance, lemons. Lemons and other fruits that are rich in vitamin C are actually good. Well, first, the lemons, what they do is they actually can help the uterus or the womb to fight off bacteria. So you want to get your lemon water in, or drinking your lemonade sweetened with agave or honey, not the white sugar. So you want to get that into your diet, because that's going to actually help with fighting off infection. But it doesn't just stop with just the lemons. You also got your mangoes, your oranges, your limes, your strawberries. They're all, they fall into that category as well. And they help to stop the growth of the fibroids. So that's something you definitely want to bring in. And then your fatty fish, like your salmon and like your herring and like your mackerels, those types of fish you want to bring into your diet as well, because of the omega-3 fatty acids. And what the omega fatty 3 acids do, it helps to balance the production of a hormone. I can't pronounce it. That's the only reason why I'm not going to say it. But it's called prostaglandin. I think I'm saying it right. And what that? No, it's prostaglandin.
Okay, prostaglandin. Yeah. I'm going to go look that up.
Yeah, and what it does, what that hormone does, it actually causes your womb to have severe contractions. Okay. But if you have the omega fatty 3 acid, it helps to actually succumb that, to where you don't have those. And I associate with that with women who have heavy cramping during their periods. So that can help to ease that. And the omega fatty 3 acids, they actually just help to keep your womb healthy. So you always want to have those.
Also helps with lubrication.
Helps with lubrication. It helps with increasing the mucus. It helps to promote ovulation, and it just overall promotes the overall wellness of your uterus. And it also helps to increase the blood flow to your reproductive organs as well. So you don't want to skip on your omega-3. You can also get omega-3 from your nuts too. So if you're not someone that eats, if you're a vegan per se, your nuts, like your almonds and your it listed peanuts on there as well, but I don't know about the peanuts, but go with your almonds, your cashews, your macadamia nuts, and the Brazil nuts. I love Brazil nuts. So you want to go more with those types of nuts. And during my research as well, I read some information about green tea. And we all know green tea is good for the antioxidants, and it helps with increasing your metabolism, but it also helps with shrinking uterine fibroids as well.
Yes.
So you want to get the green tea in too. And when I was doing a little bit more research for this, I started to read some information about choline. And what was amazing with that is because I actually use a product in my office that has choline in it. And what choline does, as far as the uterus and your reproductive system, it actually helps to protect against neural tubal defects when you're pregnant.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's something, yeah, for a woman that is considering getting pregnant or, preparing to get pregnant. You want to have the choline in your diet,
Okay.
and you get choline from. I hate to almost say this, but your highest levels of choline can be found in beef liver. It can be found in eggs, soybeans, and chicken breasts. But on the other side, you can get it from your Brussels sprouts, cabbage, tangerines, broccoli, and tuna as well. But the
Okay.
highest source, though, is the beef liver and the eggs for choline.
Okay.
Or you can do a supplement. That's something you can do, a
So you
supplement
can
as
get
well.
a choline supplement.
You can get a choline supplement. And as you spell
Okay.
that CHOLINE, a choline
Okay.
supplement. But in the office here, I do the lipovite injections, and one of the ingredients is the choline in there. And I never knew that that was one of the functions as I was giving this injection to women, that it was actually helping a woman, especially if she wanted to, get pregnant later on. Didn't even know that.
Now,
So
how
that was
important is nutrition for womb health?
very, it's very important.
I mean,
And
we know this, but some of our sisters out there who just coming into this and they don't know how important nutrition is for the overall body in general.
in
You know,
general,
for our energy levels, for it eliminates brain fog, depression. It helps us to maintain focus.
it
It
does.
also, good nutrition helps us to maintain a balanced weight and balance our hormones and our stress levels. So, but how important is it for the womb and vaginal health?
I wanted that I was actually that's what I was going to go back to, because you said something. Most of the time when women come into the office and I start telling them or giving them information about womb wellness,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that's never been thought of. It's something that never came across their minds, mainly because I think we haven't been taught that our womb is our center. We haven't been taught that our womb is the connection. We know has not, that it's a center for manifestation. We haven't been taught how important it is and why we should take care of it. But as far as like our outer appearance and weight, that's something that's on the forefront. Even when you go to the doctor, they don't tell you how important your womb wellness is or womb
Right.
nutrition is. They don't even tell you. So it's a second thought. So I do express, like, to my clients, or if anybody who will listen, I start to explain to them what you take in is, if, for instance, if you're trying to become pregnant
Yes.
and you're not getting pregnant, one of the first things you could look at is your nutrition. As what are you doing? What types of different things are you doing? Are you smoking? Are you drinking? Are you eating fast foods? Are you always eating the preservatives, the foods that sit on the shelf? So that means you're taking in a lot of additives and different, I
Preservatives.
call them toxins. I
Yeah,
call
they
them
are.
toxins.
They are.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you can't pronounce it, and your body doesn't know what to do with
Your
that.
body can't
So a lot of
digest it. If you
you
can't
can't
pronounce it,
digest
your
it.
body can't digest it.
So it's stored in your fat cells. So sometimes you're thinking, okay, I'm following a good diet, but you're eating a lot of preservatives. You're eating a lot of prepared foods. So those toxins are just laying on your waist or on your hips or on your thighs, because your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it just stores it in your fat cells. And once you start gaining that weight, that's another thing that affects your womb wellness as well. Your cycles can get heavier. Oh my God. With your when you have a diet that is like out of control, your
Right.
cycles can get heavier, longer, the clotting, and that all has to do with what you're taking into your
I have a
body.
question for that. So you're saying that our nutrition is directly correlated and linked to how our menstruation flows, how we live,
Yes,
the pattern and the routine of our menstruation.
yes. And to give you an example, I'm gonna take myself. I noticed some things about my cycle that it was too long, number one, and then it was too long and it was too heavy, and I was getting some clotting and different things like that. So I did look at my diet to see exactly what I was doing. It took probably about 2 to 3 months before everything got back under what I would consider under control. But what I did was I put in more fresh fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Maybe one day out of the week, I would do a juice fast, and that was just so that my body could have time to cleanse and clear and get things out of my system. I increased my water intake because I hadn't been drinking enough water. If you're not drinking enough water, you can't push toxins out of your system. You can't do it. So you always want to, get that water in. And after a couple of months or so, I did see that everything got back to normal with my cycle. But during the period of time when my cycle was out of control, is what I call it, is because I wasn't treating my body right. I was, just eating all different types. I was eating a lot of fried food is what it was.
So ladies, you heard that.
I was eating a lot of fried food.
Nutritionist herself, Goddess LaShun, she tells you that your menstrual pattern, your menstrual cycle is directly linked to your nutrition. So if you're eating a lot of processed foods, if you're eating a lot of sugars and a lot of fried foods, more than likely you will have hard menstrual cycles. You will have painful periods and clotting. Okay.
Something else that I noticed too, sugar, the refined sugars during that period of time, I was eating donuts and cookies and stuff. I was having a painful cycle, and I've never had a painful cycle. So once I took all of that out of my diet, that went away. That went away as well. I was having a painful cycle. And I've never had pain.
And let me tell you something else, ladies. Sugar is the enemy of your vagina. The sodas and all that, cut them. The first thing you're going to do, you're going to have a smell. You're going to have a smell. You're going to have a little ammonia type of smell in this discharge. I mean, the vagina is supposed to have a natural discharge because it's a natural cleansing organ. Just like it's saliva to the mouth, you're supposed to have some lubrication and some discharge from your vagina. Okay? However, if every time you pull your pants down, or if you sitting there doing something, you know you took a shower 2 hours ago, and all of a sudden you smell yourself.
That's
Come on now. That means you need a cleanse.
That's the issue.
You need a cleanse. Okay. Yeah. All right, LaShun, let's talk a little bit about, we coming on 2019. People want to get geared up for the weight loss thing. I always say this. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do resolutions whenever I see fit. So my weight loss goal started way before January 2019. You know what I'm saying? So we're here in the end of October, coming on November. You know these holidays is coming up, honey. This is really no time to be trying to start no diet. But you have a solution for that. So let's talk about weight loss, some things that we can do to start weight loss now, even during the holidays, as well as some things we can do to stay and maintain on this goal through 2019.
Okay. The first thing I would want to tell anybody when they say, oh, I want to lose weight, the first thing is set realistic goals. That's the first thing. Sometimes, clients come to me and they want to lose 20 pounds in a month, or I don't know, a couple of weeks. Sometimes that's like how they're thinking. If they're not losing 5 or 6 pounds a week, they think whatever they're doing is not working. So the first thing is set a realistic goal and realize that you didn't gain all the weight overnight. So it's not going to come off overnight. So just be realistic. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you do have to get some sort of activity in your life. I don't care if it's just going to walk, if you're walking around the mall because it's cold, but you want to get your heart rate up for at least 30 consecutive minutes. Something that I hear a lot, people tell me, well, they have an active job. An active job is not the same as exercise, because when you have an active job, your body is used to what you do on a day-to-day basis. So your body knows how much energy to give you, how much energy not to give you. But if you get out for 30 minutes and you get your heart rate up, that's when your exercise come in. That's when the fat burn comes in. So always remember that you got to do something outside of what your job is.
Okay.
The third piece of information that I can give you, that especially during the holidays, because it can be hard to stick to, say, a certain plan or something. I always tell my clients to eat more vegetables, green leafy vegetables, than
Yes.
anything. That's what half of their plate should be. At least half of their plate should be the green leafy
I'm
vegetables.
glad you said that, LaShun, because holidays is full of starch.
It is. It's full of starch.
Carbohydrates, sugar,
Yep.
starchy
Yes.
foods. You have macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, potato salad, rice. You probably have one vegetable, greens or green beans,
Green.
and then you got cornbread dressing. You got everything is in the meat. It's a plate
And then
full
the
of
meat.
starch. So how can we go about creating more healthier options for these holidays?
That's where it would come into play, that you yourself. Okay, let's just say if I'm cooking dinner at my house, I try to balance everything out. There's more than one. We might have cabbage, green beans, and collard greens or something like that, or whatever. And then I cut back on the starches. That's the other thing. Might have macaroni and cheese and dressing, but we ain't gonna get all into the yams and then all the cakes and the pies, So it's in moderation. And sometimes we don't even do a traditional Thanksgiving. One year we did like seafood. So with seafood, you're not gonna have a whole bunch of carbohydrates in that.
Yes.
So it's just going to be just being number one, being proactive. And then number two, you got to make the conscious decision to say that this is me. This is my body. This is what I want for myself.
Yes.
Because truly what we put in our bodies, we have control over. We are in control of our health and wellness. So it's your choice. And if your choice is to sit there and just kind of just keep eating all the sweets and the starches, knowing that it's not going to be beneficial to you, your womb, your body, why do it? I actually have to ask myself questions like that sometimes to say, no, Sean, you can't have these donuts. I actually have to do that. I have to negotiate. I have to negotiate.
I got to talk out of yourself. Like I tell myself, you're doing too much.
You don't need that. Yeah. But then the other thing is too, that I have to ask myself, why do I want this? Why do I want it? I'm not hungry. I'm sitting here. I'm not hungry at all. Yeah. So why do I want this? Am I feeling down? Am I trying to emotionally eat? Am I eating this because I'm emotional right now? Am I using it to replace something else that I'm missing? And then you have to then the next thing is be honest with yourself.
Yes.
When I realized that I was an emotional eater, I was at my boyfriend's house. We had just ate dinner and everything, and we got in an argument. I left his house and went straight to Wendy's. I was not hungry whatsoever, but I went and got a full meal. I had just ate. And then that's when I realized I was an emotional eater. And I was teaching other people how to eat.
Say that because I knew I was an emotional eater and I still from time to time find myself, I can feel the feeling rise up. I don't necessarily eat when it comes, but I can feel the feeling of where I'm not hungry and something will just have had to happen. That's stressful. Okay. And what happens is my body will crave rich, buttery foods, cheese, sweets, all the stuff that's not good for my body. It's exactly what my body will well up and crave during a time of stress, real high stress-related circumstances. And I catch it now. It's like when stress-related circumstance happens, and then I notice it's like, why am I feeling like I want a big old piece of cheesecake? It's the French fries. It's like the French fries. But my body will crave that because it's trying to gain comfort.
It's because it's trying to gain comfort. And what I tell my clients to do when I see that this is becoming an issue, I tell them first ask themselves, why do you want this? Then I tell them to take out pen and paper to start whatever's, because usually there's something bothering you at that time, to start writing about it. So sometimes it's about getting it out, acknowledging it so the feeling can pass. so the feeling can pass. But if you just go ahead on and grab for the food and don't think about it, you're going to indulge in it, and then that's going to lead to feeling bad about yourself. Why did I do that? So then that leads to some more eating, because then you're like, well, I might as well go on and eat it because I'm gonna be, whatever, fat anyway, or so you might. I done messed up anyway. I might as well eat for the rest of the day. I've done it. I've done it. So it's about
Yeah, I'm guilty.
Yep.
And then you feel terrible afterwards. Then you got to tell yourself that night you got to commit to going on a diet tomorrow.
you got to get it back together the next day. You got to get it back together. I'm going to start over tomorrow. I'm going to start over.
Yes.
But, been there, done that. And a lot of my clients, that's what they're coming in dealing with. But I try to meet with my clients on a regular basis. I do keep in contact with them through text messaging and everything. So that way they can have me to kind of talk to them, to get them through the hump, to get them through the hump sometimes. But my goal is to always to get them to be able to function on their own.
Yes.
But you have to, but you have to realize that you're eating when you're not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You have to realize, and then ask yourself why, and then be honest with yourself.
Now tell us about your program. So and how they can find you, so that those who want to get started, tell them about this awesome Thanksgiving program you got going on, sweetie.
Okay.
So we can learn, still be able to enjoy our holidays and still lose release. So
wait. Well, I do the ACG program, and for people who don't know, the ACG program is the pregnancy hormone, but when you combine it with the low fat, low carb, low calorie diet, it makes the body lose weight fast. And every year for the last 5 years, I start the ACG program with a lot of clients on Thanksgiving Day. And the reason why I do it on Thanksgiving Day is because the first 3 days you can eat what you want to. So that's Thanksgiving Day. That's Black Friday for the people who want to go out there and, shop and stuff like that. Then you got that third day where you can eat some leftovers.
Yes.
And then on that Sunday, you'll actually start eating off of the list, off of the approved ACG food list. So in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, most of my clients lose maybe about 15 to 17 pounds. The ACG program is actually my main weight loss program. And the reason why people like it is because they get results fast as far as losing the weight. The reason why I like the ACG program is because it helps the clients to rebuild new habits. It helps with behavior modification. That's why I like it. I get what I want in the end. They get the fast weight loss in the beginning, but I get to teach. Because once they've lost 30, 40 pounds, then they'll listen to everything I have to tell them about how to count carbohydrates, how to stay away from sugars. Yeah, how to keep those results that they have. But when a person is sitting in front of me and they need to lose 30 or 40 pounds, they don't want to hear about eat more vegetables than anything. They don't want to hear that. Yeah. So, but I started this program. I mean, I do it all throughout the year, but I do a big push for it at Thanksgiving because everybody's going to enjoy Thanksgiving Day. In between Thanksgiving and Christmas, they lose that weight. So instead of making a New Year's resolution, by the time the first of the year comes, a lot of my clients have lost 20 to 25 pounds.
Yeah.
So they've already had a head start. By, say, February, March, most of them have met their weight loss goal, and they're getting ready for the springtime to be springtime fine. So if you want to know more about springtime fine, and what you can do, you can go to my website and you can actually do a consultation with me where you come in and I'll sit down with you, show you the food list to see if it's something that you can actually stick to. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's an easy program. It's hard. It's hard. Everything has to be baked, grilled, steamed, broiled, no additional fats. There's certain proteins, vegetables, and fruit that you can have when you're on the program, but it does get results. And again, I like it because it's going to help you to develop new behaviors, new habits in your life that you can have for a lifetime. That's the reason why I like it. I'm located in Riverdale, and most people are like, Riverdale, Georgia, and it's not that far. I'm still in the Atlanta metro area. You can go to my website. My website is ankhfeminine.wellness.com. That's ANKH femininewellness.com. You can call me here at the office, 770-731-0809. And I'm in the office Tuesday through Saturday. Yeah, I'm in the office Tuesday through Saturday.
Now, LaShun, what about our sisters who are and our brothers who are not in Georgia? Do you have a program for them as well?
I actually do work with clients out of state. They just have to pay for the shipping. And what we do everything over the phone, via, a video chat to do the consultation to go over everything. But they still get the same coaching like my other clients. I actually have my clients who text me their weight on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis, depending on what we decide on. That's the other thing too. When you come to me for weight loss, it's your program. It's not my program. Right. We're going to do it the way I'm going to tell you what you need to do, but then you're going to have some say-so as to how we're going to do it. But if the way you want to do it ain't going to work, I'm going to let you know. So I'm going to let you know. Yeah. But it's your program. But I do work with people from out of state all the time. Matter of fact, I work with people overseas.
Oh, really? Okay. So you got some international clients.
I'm international.
That's what I love. I love it.
I'm international.
Any last words to get us going for this weight loss and this whole full nutrition?
The one thing that I always say can take anybody anywhere when it comes to weight loss, I give this to my clients when they come in. When you fix your plate, half of your plate should be the green leafy vegetables, a fourth of your plate should be your starches, and then a fourth of your plate should be whatever your protein choice is going to be. If you eat like this all the time, you can never go wrong. At the end of your meal, if you're hungry, you always go back to eating some more of your green leafy vegetables. You can do this, and every meal that you have can be broken down this way. If you're not having vegetables, that means you need to put the vegetables in. If you're eating too many starches, that means you need to reduce that portion. If you're eating too much meat, the same thing. You can never go wrong by following this little chart right here. You can never go wrong.
Your plate should have more vegetables than anything.
And green leafy vegetables. Let me say this. Corn is not a vegetable. Peas are not a vegetable. People think that those are vegetables. They're not. They're starches. They're complex carbohydrates.
Right.
So your rice, matter of fact, rice, potatoes, peas, beans, corn, tortillas, bread, pasta. What else? What did I forget? That's all would be in this little section right here. And I tell my clients, little section right here, little. And some people like a number. So then, so that would be about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of whatever starch you would want to have on your plate that day. Now, if a person is a vegan or a vegetarian, I give them some different, a different way to set their plate up if they're vegan or vegetarian. Yeah. So it's a little bit different, and because of the protein choices.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different.
So you also do ACG, but you got some other stuff going on. Quickly, tell us of the other weight loss plans that you have going on so that we can have options.
Okay. For people who don't want to do the ACG program, I do offer some natural supplements, DNS. This helps to cut down. This helps to abolish your carb and sugar cravings, and it really works. I've tried everything that I have here, everything, and this really works. Because remember, I was telling you I was eating them donuts and cookies. Okay. And then I do Diucaps. Diucaps is a natural appetite suppressant. It does not interfere with your blood pressure, your pulse rate, or anything like that. And it doesn't take your appetite away so much that you can't build new habits. That's the reason why I don't like the phentermine and the Adapexes, because it takes your appetite away and you just go back to eating the way you was eating it already.
Yes.
Then I have the Lipo BC. I do lipotropic injections. I do Lipo BC. Well, I do Lipovite that has B5, B6, and B12 to increase your metabolism, give you energy. Then it also has a fat burner in it. This pill is like getting that shot in the pill form. The pill is not as effective as the shot though. The reason why my clients like this pill though is because it gives you some great energy on a day-to-day basis.
Wow. So one thing every day versus taking the shot once a week.
That's correct. You take these 2 a day. And I always like to say this about my tablets. They are pharmaceutical grade. They're not filled with a lot of fillers or anything like that. They really do work. Another thing I want to say too, when clients take supplements, because they'll come in and I'll say what types of programs they've done before. If something doesn't work for them within a couple of days, they feel like it's not working. When you're taking supplements, because it has to go through the digestion process, it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So you really need to give it at least 30 days before you say, this just doesn't work for me.
Okay.
But on these, for the DNS, you can tell within a week if it's going to work for you. For the diu caps, you can usually tell within 2 or 3 days if it's going to work for you. You know, so, but these are really good. And again, like you were saying, I offer the Lipovite injection. I offer the fat burner injection by itself, or you can get the fat burner injection with B12 in it or B12 by itself. And all of those are just dependent on what the client tells me when they come in, as far as what they're looking for, the results they're looking for, or like what state they're in. Because if they're having very low energy, I recommend the Lipovite because it's a B complex. If they don't have issues with energy, well, let's just do the fat burner then. Why give you something you don't need?
Well, you know, the thing that I do love about the Lipovite and the B12 with the combination of the other B vitamins in the fat burner is that it helps to regulate your hormones.
It actually does.
Yes,
and it helps for women that have issues with depression. It actually can help with balancing them out as well. So but that goes back to the hormones.
Okay. Any last words? We want to thank you so much, LaShun. Any last words you want to give us? We're going to go ahead and call it a Womb Wellness Wednesday. Do what we got to do today.
This was fun. I would like to do it again. I would like to do it again.
So how can they find you one more good time?
Okay, 770-731-0809 is my phone number here at the spa, but on the web at www.unfeminineWellness.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel. So you can see some videos. You can actually see some videos on the ACG program. I just posted phase 1, 2, and 3 on my YouTube channel. And to find me on YouTube, I think it's just under LaShun Teboh. My last name, Teboh.
Okay, because there you have LaShun Walker. So listen, it's LaShun Teboh, Teboh.
Okay. I know that confuses people.
Now, what I want to say, is there a special like coming up for the holidays?
Yes. For the ACG program, usually I do 21 days for $149. I'm actually doing it for $99. From now until almost to Thanksgiving, about the 24th, 25th or something like that. So it's only $99. It's a great price. So now jump on. Like, I've already started sending the text messages out to my current clients, and they've been on it because they know that that's a special. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
Let me tell you about LaShun. I found LaShun on the internet. And I was looking for a weight loss provider so that I could start doing the B12 and you know, working on my weight, because y'all know this has been a struggle all my life. I have. But that's been a struggle all my life. And I found LaShun and we just clicked. We clicked and we got to talking about what we do, and she was doing the steaming there at Ankh Feminine Wellness, and then she found out about the academy, and she came to the academy and she got certified. So now she also has incorporated feminine wellness in with the holistic weight loss, and we're just so proud of you, LaShun. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, thank you. Going to that. If anyone is thinking about going to Love My Womb Academy, go to Love My Womb Academy. It's going to be awesome. You won't forget it. For me, it was a turning point for me because it was a major part of my healing, my own self-healing. So you're not going to just go to get certified. You're going to go and fall more in love with yourself, find out more about yourself, and just start healing from that point on. So if you've been thinking about it, do it. Yes, just take the self-care. Just take if you want to do the business, take the self-care portion of it. It's amazing. I can't say enough about it.
We promote our Goddess Theme practitioners and what they do. Most of our Goddess Theme practitioners have their own niche. They've carved out something in which they works well for them, and hers is nutrition and weight loss. So we know that her service is needed, especially now, especially with Black women, because we hold everything in our womb and our hip. We ain't got nothing but booties and stomachs.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I want to say something to that too, because clients always say, "Well, I just want to lose my stomach, or I just want to lose my hips." You cannot spot lose weight. Let me just say that you cannot spot lose weight. So, because people ask me that all the time if they can just lose one part of themselves, and I'm like, you can't do it. So
that's so deep. Did you hear what you just said?
can they lose one part of themselves?
One part of myself. That don't even sound right.
I know. And once I said that, I actually felt the energy behind that, because that's exactly what they're saying to me. I want to lose this one part of myself, but that one part of yourself is that way because of something that you're holding on to that you're not releasing. So it goes back. It goes back to that.
That's so deep. Can I lose one part of myself, but the weight is the actual evidence of something you hold it on to.
It is. It is.
Yes.
A lot of
we just had that conversation before coming on here.
We just had that conversation before coming on.
Yes. Yes. So thank you so much again, LaShun. We will definitely have you back.
Thank you.
With success and service and to expand, and thank you for sharing the wealth of information and your service with the women in your community. We appreciate you.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now for those of you who want to know more about Love My Womb Academy, check us out at lovemywombacademy.com. You can also call me at 337-944-9131. Our goddess theme practitioners training for the end of the year. We do have 2 dates left. One is November 9th through the 11th, 2018. And then we have another, which is December 14th through the 16th. Okay. Also, check us out on Love My Womb Academy online.com. We have free classes there. We also have Yoni Steaming for self-care. So if you can't travel, we understand. We have an online course. We actually have a distant learning course now for our practitioners training and business course. There's a lot more work than if you would come for the weekend retreat. However, many of us can't travel, and then we have international students now. So we thank you for that. All right. Also, we want to thank all the people that joined us today. We appreciate your presence. We just want to go ahead and shout a few of them out. Dr. Tamara Griffin, thank you for being there. Medea B. Hardy, thank you. My sister-in-law, Barbara Wareham, love you, Chaka, and Dorisa King. All of you shouted us out, and we want to thank you for being present. All right. Remember, be happy, be whole, and be healed. All right. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.